Welcome back to Meghan and Harry Tales. I'm Adrian, and today we're diving into the drama surrounding the Commonwealth Day service at Westminster Abbey. Now, you might think the big story is inside the Abbey with King Charles, Queen Camilla and the rest of the royals, but no, the real action was happening outside. And let me tell you, it was explosive. Commonwealth Day 2025. A day meant for celebrating unity and shared heritage. Instead, it became a focal point for dissent. As King Charles and Queen Camilla made their way to Westminster Abbey, they were met with a sight that sent shivers down the spines of royal aides. Gone were the usual throngs of cheering well-wishers. In their place stood a sea of protesters. Their message was clear. The monarchy is outdated. It is time for change. The pomp and ceremony of the day felt oddly out of place against the backdrop of public anger. The protests were not just confined to the streets of London. Across the Commonwealth, from Australia to Canada, voices of discontent echoed similar sentiments. The world was watching, and the image of a disgruntled populace turning against its rulers was hard to ignore. The seeds of this discontent had been sown long ago. The winds of change had been blowing for decades, gradually eroding the foundations of a centuries-old institution. The monarchy, once revered and unquestioned, found itself facing a new era of scrutiny and accountability. The scandals that have plagued the royal family in recent years have only served to further fuel the flames of discontent. The allegations of financial impropriety, the whispers of exploitation, and the perception of a family out of touch with the realities of modern life have all contributed to a growing sense of disillusionment among the public. The monarchy's silence in the face of these allegations has only amplified the sense of public outrage. The palace's carefully crafted statements and staged public appearances have done little to quell the rising tide of anger and frustration. The people demand answers, and the Crown seems unwilling or unable to provide them. At the heart of the current storm lie the Duchies of Cornwall and Lancaster. These vast estates, shrouded in medieval privilege and opaque financial dealings, have become lightning rods for criticism. They represent, for many, the stark inequality that the monarchy embodies. The Duchy of Cornwall, passed down through generations of heirs apparent, has been a source of personal income for King Charles for decades. Similarly, the Duchy of Lancaster, a sprawling portfolio of lands, properties and assets, has provided the reigning monarch with a private income for centuries. Critics argue that these duchies, operating with minimal transparency and accountability, represent a feudal anachronism in the 21st century. The fact that they generate vast wealth for the royal family, while some of their tenants struggle to make ends meet, has only added fuel to the fire. The question on everyone's lips is simple. Why should the royals enjoy such immense privilege in an age of supposed equality? The royal family's response to these mounting criticisms has been, at best, muted. They have opted for a strategy of silence and carefully managed public appearances, hoping to weather the storm and emerge unscathed. However, this approach has only served to further alienate the public. The palace has issued carefully worded statements, denying any wrongdoing and defending the duchies as vital sources of income for the monarchy. However, these pronouncements have rung hollow in the ears of many, who see them as nothing more than attempts to deflect criticism and maintain the status quo. The lack of transparency surrounding the duchy's financial dealings has only added to the public's suspicion. The royals' refusal to engage in a meaningful dialogue about the future of these estates and their role in a modern monarchy has left many wondering if the institution is capable of reforming itself. The silence from Buckingham Palace has been deafening. Meanwhile, across the Atlantic, Prince Harry and Meghan Markle have charted a different course. They have distanced themselves from the royal family and its traditions, choosing instead to forge their own path and use their platform to advocate for causes they believe in. Their decision to step back from royal duties sent shockwaves through the monarchy. It was an unprecedented move that challenged the very notion of what it means to be a royal in the 21st century. Since their departure, Harry and Meghan have been vocal in their support for various charitable causes, using their platform to raise awareness about issues such as mental health, climate change and social justice. This stands in stark contrast to the more traditional approach of the royal family, which often seems more concerned with preserving its image and upholding protocol than engaging with the pressing issues of the day. The events of recent years have undoubtedly tarnished the image of the monarchy. The scandals, the protests, and the growing sense of public disillusionment have all taken their toll. The question now is whether the institution can adapt and survive in this new era of scrutiny and accountability. The monarchy has weathered storms before, but it has never faced a challenge quite like this. The world has changed, and the public's expectations of its leaders, even its symbolic ones, have evolved. The royals can no longer rely on tradition and ceremony alone to maintain their relevance. They must demonstrate that they are in tune with the concerns of the people they represent. They must embrace transparency and accountability, and they must be willing to engage in a meaningful dialogue about the future of the monarchy. As the sun sets on the British Empire, casting long shadows over the House of Windsor, one question hangs heavy in the air. Can the monarchy survive? Can it shed its image as an outdated relic of a bygone era and embrace the challenges of a rapidly changing world? The answer perhaps lies not in clinging to the past, but in embracing the future. The monarchy must evolve, adapt, and demonstrate its relevance to a new generation. It must show that it can be a force for good in the 21st century, a symbol of unity, hope, and progress. The path forward will not be easy. It will require courage, humility, and a willingness to challenge the status quo. But if the monarchy is to survive and thrive, it must be willing to change with the times. The world is watching, waiting to see if the crown will rise to the challenge or crumble under the weight of its own history. So the big question is the monarchy on borrowed time? Will we see an end to this institution in our lifetime? The Commonwealth, once a symbol of unity, is now a glaring reminder of how outdated and out of touch the monarchy has become. Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. And as always, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell so you never miss an update from Meghan and Harry Tales.